Hello everyone, and welcome back to another building tutorial. Today I'm going to walk you through how to build this super simple starter house for your Minecraft worlds. Here are the blocks that I'm choosing to work with. We have spruce, some oak, birch logs, some little decoration blocks, and then some andesite and some cobble. And with that out of the way, let's get started with our layout. When starting on these builds, I like to begin by marking out the foundation little pillars. I'm going to do 1 block of andesite, 3 blocks of cobble, 1 block of andesite, 3 blocks of cobble, 1 block of andesite, and then let's just carry that along to the back as well. 3 blocks of cobble, 3 blocks of cobble, 3 blocks of cobble. So in the front we have 2 of these sections, and along the back we have 3. Now that we have this basic foundation marked in, it's time to build it up. I'm going to build this entire foundation up to 3 blocks high. I'm going to take my andesite and build it up 1 block higher than the cobble on all of the pillars. And at this point, I'm going to stop with the stone foundation detailing and move on and mark in the rest of the structures before I continue. Starting with this structure that's going on top of this foundation by building up some oak logs 5 blocks tall in each corner. Once that's done, we're going to go next to this andesite pillar and build up some oak logs. This time we're going to do 6 blocks tall. We'll then skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again 6 blocks tall. On the side here, I'll skip 5 once again, and again 6 blocks tall, and connect that into this side on this andesite pillar. In order to visualize our walls better, let's mark those in now and bring them up to the height of the oak logs. The walls are going to be filling in each of these spots here, just like so. If you want it to be a little bit easier to place the walls on this foundational layer, we're going to build in a rim of cobblestone just to give us something to place the logs on. Once that's in, we'll be able to go all the way along here and fill it in with some birchwood. We're going to end up deleting some of this a little bit later on in the tutorial right here to get the interior connection to work. So if you don't want to build this, just kind of mark out where the pillars are and don't fill those blocks in. Then just going to build up all of these birch logs to match the height of the oak ones. Notice how we have this weird gap right here? Make sure you finish that connection by dragging this tiny wall across to this larger one in the foundation, just so we don't have any weird air gaps there. And once that's done, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Now I'm going to take my andesite slabs and I'm going to go ahead and make a nice little pattern going all the way along this foundation. 2 slabs, and then if you wanted, this could also be a full block. I'm just going to slap it in since I'm in creative mode. Gonna do that all the way along this entire foundation. Now it's time to work on the roof. We're going to be grabbing our spruce blocks for this, so let's get them out now. I'm gonna start with this lower building here, bringing some spruce stairs all the way to this furthest oak log and leaving it there, and then dragging it all the way forward to overhang 1 across this oak log. Gonna do that on both sides. And then over here on this peak part is where we're going to start staircasing it up, putting it upside down, and then a right side up, and an upside down, and then a full block, right side up, upside down, full block, and just repeat again. At the top here, I'm actually going to do a full block and then a stair, and I'm going to cap this up a little differently. I'm going to actually just put 2 of those blocks like that. In order to add a little bit more variety to this roof, you can also change these stairs to be upside down to give it a little bit more of a spiky look and have it be more unique to just a little bit different. I really like this effect. I think it works really well in this style. Just so that we know where the connection is on this other building, I am going to bring some slabs all the way across here to about there. It doesn't have to be an exact science. Once we mark in this full roof, we'll get a better idea of where that needs to go. Speaking of, let's get the overhangs on this roof marked in just as we did on the other one. When we get to this crossover section, to make it easier to visualize the shape, I go all the way through with my stairs, even though I know I might need to delete some of those a little bit later on. Once that's marked in, I'm just going to do the exact same pattern here as I did there. So starting with staircasing it up by 1, and then we'll go up by a full block every time. There you have it. This looks a lot more like a house now. If you're happy with the sort of design that you have going on your edge, then now it's time to fill it in. Going to start on each of the bottom edges here by filling it in with some oak. You can do whatever color you want here. Dark prismarine is one of my personal favorite choices, but seriously, whatever color you want. I'm gonna go with oak to keep it pretty simple. Whenever we hit a stair like this, I'm going to end up breaking that and replacing it with the full block. This will make a little bit less awkward of a connection. And don't worry about these upside down parts. I'm still going to go with stairs for oak that are right side up. It's a little weird at the front, but to be honest, I kind of like that effect. With that filled in, this is looking much better. I'm not going to be sure how to do that connection until I also fill in this roof. So let's do that, starting with the easy side so we know what we're going up against. Let's just do stairs all the way across and fill it in just like I did before. Right, now for the more challenging side. So starting just like we did, but wherever we come to a connection, we're just gonna let it kind of connect up naturally. Pretty easy on both sides, just like so. And then once again, with this full block, again, just going to let this completely connect up exactly as it flows together. And with this last layer, it's connected. So now we know that we need one more block on our spruce there. You may have pulled that perfectly across on your first try. I don't know. With that filled in, it's looking a lot better. And we can now go into our walls and finish filling these all the way in so we don't have that awkward, breezy attic. Now it's time for the finishing touches on these roofs. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this kind of awkward connection by bringing some oak logs in a triangle shape in this roof. That fits it so much better. Gonna do that on all three sides. I'd like to plan to have a window right here, so I'm gonna punch that in right now and also start on a little archway going right here. That makes for a lovely window detail. Let's do that on both sides. We're then going to go ahead and grab some leaves and just fill in this awkward cobble spot with some nice leaves. You could also do grass here and plant some flowers on it, but odds are in the early game you don't have silk touch yet, so staircase some grass up or just use leaves, which is pretty simple and personally one of my favorite touches. The door for this build is going to go right here. You could also do here or the other side. It's completely up to you, honestly. It doesn't really matter where the door goes for the design, but wherever you put it, just plop a stair over its head. And let's actually put a door there. Perfect. Now we do have the awkward gap going on right here, so I think it's about time we fill that in as well. I'm gonna connect all of these weird edges with some logs. You could also do planks if you're low on materials. Really make sure you get in there and don't forget any. We're now going to continue with some simple roof details, which for me is just going to be adding these little slabs all the way along. This is such a simple detail to do, but it really helps out. You can also now curve this stair inwards to kind of help it integrate into that oak log a little bit better. We're going to do that on all of our edges. Grabbing my glass of choice now so that I can start putting it into all of my windows. Make sure you have these marked out wherever you want them. I'm going to leave that wall alone for now, but I definitely want one back here, as well as right here. And I think on this edge we'll do a very similar detail to what I did on the other one, just to keep it consistent. Some very simple staircasing slabs. Looks good. On this side opposite our foundation, I'm going to actually put some of these andesite details on this side, just to keep it a little bit more consistent with what's going on everywhere. And then we can start with some more of our details. On each of these upper edges on this lower build, I'm going to put some fences. I'm going to use trapdoors back here to look as shutters on this window. And then very simply, we're going to be adding in some dirt and getting some lovely little flower boxes going out here. You can do 2 or you can do 1, whatever you would like to. They both fit in this space perfectly fine. And then just plop your flower of choice or some leaves in that area. This is also a good time to connect it to a path if you wanted to. At this point, the build is pretty much complete, but if you want, you can add some little lighting sources hanging off of your roof by just adding a slab and then some fencing coming down. It's really easy to do this off of this type of roof because I already made it kind of leaning out. A little bit of grass and this build is complete. Perfect for any starter area that you could need. I'm not really here to tell you how to build your interior, but this is how I would split up the interior of a house like this. You have this simple front entrance area, maybe for some storage or some general crafting. You can go under here where you have more functional area space, and then you also have this tiny staircase that can take you up into maybe a bedroom, and also lots of options for a second floor in here with maybe a ladder or a small staircase against this wall or this one. This house gives a surprising amount of interior space for the size and effort that you need to put into the exterior. I hope that it works out for you and that you enjoyed this tutorial. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you built this in your world and how it turned out. I totally want to see it. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Goodbye, everyone!